Hi everyone. Today I am going to be talking about the African Maasai, and I wanted to make a note really quick because somebody said something to me about my videos, and they said that I'm saying you and I'm not including myself. Every video I'm doing applies to me. I mean, that's why I'm doing it, is I have experienced many things in my life and have been through ups and downs myself. So I theorize a lot, and I think about things that, okay, how can I do it better? Or why did I do that? And, what could have I done that would have been better? So everything that I'm talking about in every single video applies to me too. This isn't about pointing the finger. So I wanted to say that up front. All right? So I'm going to tell you a story. The African Maasai are like nobody else. We think we'll tame them, but we won't. If you put them in prison, they die. Why? Because they live for the now. They don't think about the future. They can't grasp the idea that they'll ever be let out one day. They think it's permanent, so they die. And this is true. And I want you to think about the global world and how this could happen to us in turn. Well, it is. We're in a prison mind. Humanity is. And we've done it to ourselves. And also narrative and misinformation and, sort of like a mass psychosis. It's put humanity in this bubble, I can say. But also, we haven't been, all of us, every country, but mainly I would have to say, the West and a couple other countries, we take land, we just go in, we put them in prison, we take their resources, and then, we expect them just to literally submit and essentially die. And I'm reading this because there's a part of the African Maasai that we have too inside of us. And first, I want to begin with a quick note of respect for the African Maasai. When I speak about the African tribe, I'm not speaking for them, obviously. I'm honoring their ways of life and what they evoke. I think that their relationship to the land, their breath, their courage is magnificent. And just like all cultures, we all have our traditions. We have to honor other people's cultures and traditions without taking over. And I'm using that mirror to talk about something many of us quietly suffer from, and I call that the prison mind. And that's what this video is going to be about. I don't want to ramble on because I want to get to the points. So, picture this. People who move with rhythm of the day, who read the sky the way we read our screens, who know themselves through action, ritual, and their responsibility to who they are. Whether you've met the Maasai or only heard of the stories, they present a living reminder that Life is meant to be lived and not postponed. The future is now. We don't have a future. The future is right now. So here's my point. Most of humanity is incarcerated without walls. They're suffering. They're putting up these walls of limitation and past traumas. They've incarcerated themselves without even being incarcerated. We all have at times with our little minds. So we are free, but our thoughts are doing time. We live replaying yesterday's wounds while forecasting our anxieties of tomorrow's. We do that. We don't live in the now. We're living either in the past or the future, which brings us suffering and anxiety. And I've talked about this on social media. I got rid of my Twitter account a long time ago, but I used to talk about it because a lot of people on Twitter were talking about how they had a lot of anxiety. And I said, because you're speaking or thinking and your thoughts are revolving around past or future. And that's where it comes from. People say, no, it's all chemical. But we control our body and our chemical and our expression on the inside. We can do that. Dr. Bruce Lipton talks all about this. If you haven't followed him, I recommend you following him. He's wonderful. When I was on my infertility doing that, I listened to him all the time. So anyways, let's move on. So I want to reread that statement because I think it's very important. We are free, but our thoughts are doing time. We live replaying yesterday's wounds and forecasting tomorrow's anxieties. And a lot of what we do is, and I want to be, I've made vision boards and I love it. I love vision boards. I mean, they get you in the, they create a emotion and get you to be cutting out, pictures, putting them up on the wall or the back of the door, and they're goals. You need to have goals. It's very important. But we can't treat it like a museum where we walk by it and then all these pictures are there, right? Or all the museum pieces and what have you. We have to inhabit it within, inside, and we have to take action. It's very important. So let me say this in the first person, because I'm not preaching, I'm practicing too. I'm all of you, you're all of me, we're in this together. When I drift into the prison mind, which I do sometimes, I notice the same pattern, this small, frightened narrator, and it takes my life. And it speaks this voice of not enough, not ready enough. I was there. Not healed enough, not expert enough. And when I say I was there, not ready enough, 2 years ago I started doing these videos, and I stopped because I was chicken shit. That's what my brother always says. And I was, and I didn't move forward because I thought I wasn't ready enough. I didn't have enough information, which I had too much information, way too much information. And I didn't, I was saying, oh, how am I going to, chop everything up and blah. And 1 month went by, 6 months, 1 year, and then 2 years. So I kept on negotiating with the door, but the door was never locked. I just never stepped through it. And it convinces me that when you start waiting for that day, it never comes. You have to go for it. You do. You have to open up that door and walk through it. So the Maasai, in my imagination, remind me of a different posture. Stand tall, breathe now, act now, decide now. And not this reckless present, rushing and no, inspired action, right? There's a dignity in the stance that refuses to make the future the only place where life is allowed. And what I did is, so I guess my question is, so how do we walk out of the prison mind? I have 7 steps I'm going to put below, and I'm just going to read them really quickly because I don't want to keep the video too long. I notice people stop about 10 minutes. So number 1 is return to the body. When fear is loud, what I do is I start to breathe. I use a breathing technique. And I feel my heart. And there's more. And it'll be at the bottom of the video. 2, call out the guard by name. The guard is the little me voice. 3, rewrite the human story you've been living from. This is why I'm doing the book. Tell the world a new human story. You've got to change the story for yourself. Tell a new human story so that you reach your potential, because you can. 4, do courageous micro act each day. So whether it's, a tiny little step, maybe sending out an email to somebody that you've been wanting to do and haven't done, skip sugar for a day, apologize, go out for a walk, what have you. 5, practice dignity rituals. This is important, very important. Like the Maasai are known for their rituals, right? We need our own. Every culture has them. Every culture. So, for example, a daily walk, I said that already. Weekly phone free. You don't have to call 50 friends to get an answer, right? Unless you want to, but the answers are inside of you, right? I would say a simple personal salute of courage. And then, as we know, rituals turn values into muscle memory. We all know that. Prayer. It does. You start praying and things flow. People say, oh God, you're so lucky, but it's not really so much luck. It's a faith. It's gratitude. And then 6, this is the one that this is like very strong for me. Choose the herd that runs free. What do I mean by this? I audit my inputs, who I listen to, what I consume, where I place my attention. If a voice keeps coming up in your mind, or even an outside friend, stop it. Stop renting it. Stop hearing those, I can't do this, I'm little. Get rid of them. Change the course. Replace it with something positive. 7, measure aliveness, not perfection, because the metric of freedom is not flawless. It's not. Sometimes I think that perfection, people that are, and I'm one of those people, I always, like in design, I always needed to be like, wait, don't do it like this. Let's do it like this. Don't do, oh, no. And then it just goes and goes and goes, and it drives you crazy. Sometimes you mess up and it looks great and you leave it alone. So, because flawness, it's alive, okay? And you want to breathe, you want to, this is progress, is when you feel. All right, so let's move along. Those 7 steps will be below. Here's the hard truth. If we don't break free of the prison mind, something in us starts to die. Not our bodies maybe, but our vision, our nerve, our capacity to love. It's a slow erosion that looks respectable on the outside. You know, like staying married, but you're miserable. It looks great. Oh yeah, you're still married, great. But it's empty on the inside. That's kind of what happened to me. And you have to look at that. And here's the beautiful truth. Freedom isn't granted by the future. It's activated in the now. The future is now. We don't wait to become the person who could do the brave thing. We do the brave thing and become the person. It's true. So today we all choose to live in dignity, and we stand present, the now. And I'm choosing to withdraw my life force from stale stories and invest in aligned action. That's what I'm doing. Do it with me. Get rid of that stale story and create a new story for yourself and align with it. And I'm choosing to be uncontainable in the best way, not reckless, but real, untamable to any fear. And, bullying, because, when you're single, you'd be amazed. Not to be on a negative side, but a lot of people, when you're divorced, when they're married and everybody's married around you, they kind of look a little bit like you're a second-class citizen. Oh, so sad. That's sad that you got a divorce, but it isn't. And it's fine. So the door was never locked. It's always been open. Step through it and live the now. Remember the Maasai tribe, the African Maasai tribe. They lived so much in the future that if they were locked up, they would die because it's unimaginable. So the final thought is this: the prison mind survives on delay. Your freedom lives on decision. Every successful, ultra successful person I've ever met, they make decisions. They don't think and ho-hum. They go right to the decision. And then they're not thinking, well, if I make this decision, what if this happens or that happens? No. Yes, you can think about it for a moment, but then you have to get your gut and your instinct and your knowing and all the experience that you have, and you make the decision, and that's how it's going to go. You have to pick it. You have to make the decision, and you make the decision. One breath, one truth, and one courageous step today. So that's it. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you at the next video. Bye.